Hello, all my dear students. I am your mentor Amit Ajmani and I welcome you all to Sri Jayendra Rank Zone classes. In the previous class, we have discussed the chapter meetings and today we'll be completing up this particular chapter. So let us try to relate what exactly we have learned till now in the chapter. We have studied about what exactly a meeting is. We studied about what exactly are the requisites of a meeting. What all are the various things that we need to consider while writing the details of the meeting. We studied very much in detail about what exactly is the agenda of a meeting. Then we studied about the need for an agenda, the advantages of agenda. We also discussed about the format and we took an example to relate what an agenda is. Next, we talked about the minutes of a meeting. Now, in the minutes of a meeting, we saw what exactly is the meaning of minutes of a meeting. Then we related the various reasons for which minutes of a meeting are taken or noted down. We studied about the various steps involved in taking the minutes and we studied about the process of minutes. Then in the end we talked about ATR as to what is this action taken report, how it is written and what is the advantage of this action taken report. This was the chapter all about. Now let us try to apply our detailed knowledge in doing these questions. Let us see the first question. Quite lengthy question. Try to understand. The managing committee of Bharat Shiksha Institute has decided to bring changes in the English and accountancy syllabus for the first year course. Mr. Kamal Kapoor, the academic dean of the institute, has been assigned the task of convening a meeting of all stakeholders, the subject experts, the college lecturers, the students, and members of print and publishing department to decide the necessary alterations in the syllabi. As Kamal Kapoor set an agenda for the meeting in which the hint given to us is that we have to take the suggestions for discussions, review the previous syllabus, identify all the redundant topics. Suggestions are invited for inclusion of latest relevant content, include constructive and useful content from student point of view, discuss the time frame for completion of revamping. So these are the various things which will be done or discussed in the meeting, according to which we need to set an agenda. Now what we need to do is inform your secretary Miss Swati Singh to write the minutes of the meeting and submit an action taken report to the managing committee. Each section should be written in about 200 words. So this is the question all about. Let us try to relate the question once again. There is a Bharat Shiksha Institute and the managing committee has decided to change the contents of English and accountancy syllabus, for which Mr. Kamal Kapoor, the academic dean, he is going to convene a meeting including the stakeholders, subject experts, college lecturers, students, members of print and publishing department, right? The contents of the meeting are all these that have been specified here. And as Kamal Kapoor, we have to set an agenda. Then our secretary, Miss Swati Singh, has to take the minutes of the meeting and we need to make an action taken report, the ATR. So let us try to relate one by one each and everything. First of all, when we will be talking about agenda, we need to follow the pattern which is given in the template. And the pattern, if you remember, first of all we'll be writing the time, then we will be writing the topic, then we'll be writing about the participants who all attended and the speaker and again the allotted time. So we can start up the meeting again at 9 a.m. So we need to write 9 a.m. Topic will be the introduction, participants, name of the participants, name of the speaker, time allotted, we can make it 15 minutes for the introduction, right? Secondly, after 15 minutes, 9:15 a.m., we need to again relate a topic and again the related details and so on. In between, we can have 20 minutes break as the tea break for all present over there. And after that, once again, about some discussion, then some open house discussion for all the participants. We need to give around 25 to 30 minutes for that. And the vote of thanks. Clear? So this will be the agenda. This is the first part of our question. Second part is the minutes of the meeting. In this, we need to follow all the points which are mentioned in record the minutes part that we have done in the previous class. Let us see what exactly are we going to include. We need to mention the date and time of meeting. First of all, we'll be writing meeting above, then the date, time, name of all attending the meeting and also of the absentees if any, then the correction and amendments made with reference to the previous meeting minutes. Next, we will be including the decisions taken about each agenda item. We need to write the necessary steps taken or that will be taken with reference to the issue. We will be discussing the future plan of action and we need to also specify the date and time of next meeting if there is any, right? So these are the minutes of the meeting. Example we have already seen. So I hope that with reference to those examples, you will be able to write the minutes of the meeting. Next, we are supposed to write an action taken report in which we need to mention in brief how much work is completed by the various members. This also we have discussed in the previous class and we have also taken a solved example. Exactly on the basis of that, we need to write the action report here also. So these are the three parts of this question that were asked from us to do. and this is how we are going to do them. Clear? Let us come to the second question. Let us try to relate what is there in this question. The marketing head of Aptex Products, a consumer goods company, plans to conduct a meeting to review the effectiveness of marketing policies of the previous year and plan strategies for the next year to increase the profit margin of the company. Attendees should be from marketing, advertising and media, and research and development department, because these are the people who are going to contribute, and because this is about sales promotion, right? Now what we are required to do is set an agenda for the meeting in which the suggestions for discussion are products that garnered high sales and those that failed to make the mark. Next discussion topic is reasons for poor sales and new research and development input, and also suggestions regarding novel advertising means. This is all that we are going to include in our agenda. After that, second part says to designate your secretary to write the minutes of the meeting. Third part is ask the junior marketing analyst, Mr. Sudeep Roy, to submit an action taken report to him within 7 days. Again, each section should be written in about 200 words. Exactly same thing we are going to follow. The first thing required from us is to write the agenda. We need to follow the pattern given in template. Again, the same thing, we'll be writing the time, then topic, then the participants, who was the speaker, and the time allotted. First of all, it will be the introduction part at the starting of the meeting. After that, it will be a brief discussion regarding all these things one by one. The previous year experiences about the products that garnered high sales and those that failed to make the mark. After that, what were the reasons for poor sales? After that, new research and development input. Then novel advertising means. So these will be the various topics of discussions for which there will be various speakers, and accordingly you can allot 20, 30, 15 minutes to each one of them. In between, make a tea break for 15-20 minutes, and at the end you need to relate the vote of thanks, right? So set agenda and the set format for agenda. After that, minutes of the meeting. Once again, all the points we have already mentioned in record the meetings. First of all, we'll be writing the minutes at the top, then the date and time of the meeting, and after that, names of all attending the meeting and also of the absentees. In case there is any correction or amendment made with reference to the previous meeting minutes, the decisions which are taken about in each agenda item, and the necessary steps taken or the future plans, the steps which are to be taken with reference to the issue, the future plan of action, the date and time of next meeting, which is in this case 7 days, right? So these are all the points that we are going to include in the minutes of meeting. And after that, finally, the action taken report will be written by Mr. Sudeep, who is going to mention in brief how much work has been completed by the various members regarding all the decisions taken in the meeting and regarding the future plan as per discussed in the meeting. Got it? So there is a fixed format for everything, whether it is agenda or minutes of the meeting or the action taken report. And this is all about meetings, and you'll be glad to know that this is all about your syllabus, right? Now, in the previous few days or few weeks, we have completed the various chapters. In those chapters, we have done lot many things, and today is our final class. So I would like to brush up a few things that I think you need to relate while doing your English chapters. If we try to brush up the whole syllabus, in the very first chapter, we studied about communication. Now, in that communication chapter, we dwelt at length about what communication is. I'm just telling you how briefly you can relate the contents of a particular chapter. So in this, we try to relate about what exactly communication is. Then we talked about the types of communication. In that, we took out the verbal, non-verbal and visual communication. We also discussed about formal and informal communication. Very important, we talked about the various networks in communication. Very important, you need to relate all those, whether it is star network, any, all those, vertical and horizontal, diagonal, we have seen so many. You need to relate all of them. And then we talked about what are the characteristics of effective communication. Then we discussed about the various barriers in communication, right? So these were the main things that we included in our chapter communication. Coming to the second chapter, in second chapter we discussed about sentences, we discussed about active and passive voice, and we discussed about direct and indirect speech. This was all basic grammar in which we discussed in detail about the various types of phrases. Then we discussed about the various types of clauses. We studied about sentences and their various types. Next, we talked about the active and passive voice and the various rules, how to convert active into passive or passive into active. Then we studied about direct and indirect speech. We saw the various rules and understood how to convert direct into indirect or indirect back to direct. So this chapter mainly dealt with the basic sentence formation, basic clauses and the types, phrases and the types, and how to convert active into passive, passive into active, or direct into indirect or indirect into direct. The third chapter was again very important, in which we did the vocabulary part. Now this vocabulary part was very important. In this, we studied in detail about the types of vocabulary. Then we discussed in detail about synonyms. We studied about antonyms. We studied about connotations, and we studied about collocations. We studied about idioms. We also discussed about the foreign words and the phrasal verbs. All these were very, very important, and these all require regular revision. You need to revise them, because whether you talk about the synonyms or antonyms, whether you talked about the connotations or the idioms, anything you talk about, you will not be able to learn and retain just after reading them once. So definitely you need to revise them again and again. Got it? This was our third chapter. Next, we discuss the fourth chapter, which was about comprehension passages. Now, in this chapter, comprehension passages, we tried to relate how to answer the various questions when a particular passage is given to us. In these, we studied about Bloom's taxonomy that you need to relate, and in this chapter, I taught you about various tips as to how to find the questions given in a particular comprehension passage. I hope you remember that first of all, we need to read the questions. We need to relate and repeat and revise the questions. Then we will start reading the comprehension passage. Fine. So that becomes quite comfortable. I also taught you how to find the synonyms if they are asked in the questions. Right? The next chapter deals with note making. In this chapter, we were taught how to make the notes of a particular passage. Any content is given to us, we need to convert it into notes, and while note making, we need to relate the proper format. First, we need to write the heading, then need to write the main heads and the subheads and the sub points. We learned how to present notes. We learned how to separate out the relevant and the irrelevant, and how to concisely write them in point form or in phrases form. We don't have to use the complete sentences while making notes. Very importantly, we learned how to make use of the abbreviations, how normal abbreviations are made and used. We also related the various other forms, whether it is linear note making or it is flowcharts or it is mind maps. All things can be utilized in notes formation. After making notes of the passage, we need to give the key to abbreviations, in which we need to specify the abbreviations used. How? I have already taught you everything. And then we need to write the summary based on our notes. This was what our fifth chapter note making included. Next, sixth chapter, we studied about some basics in writing. In this, we dwelt at length about the various styles and formats, And very importantly, we discussed about these four ways of writing. I hope you remember. First one was the expository style. Next one was the persuasive style, which was also another way of saying is argumentative style. Next is the descriptive style, and last one is the narrative style. We studied about all these various styles of writing. We studied where exactly they are used, how they are used, and we saw many examples of it. Clear? So all these are the various writing styles. How to write? What are the various things to remember? What are the various steps in writing? How to proofread? How to relate? All these things were included in the chapter Some Basics for Writing. Our next chapter dealt with précis writing. We learned what exactly a précis is, the meaning and definition of précis, how this précis writing is different from summary. Then we related the various steps which we need to follow while writing a précis and the various things to keep in mind while writing a précis, including everything, but in a shortened version. The précis needs to be only one third of the original passage and the sequence needs to be followed. Plus, no personal comments or interpretations are involved in précis writing. Just like summary, précis is also a shortened version, but this is the main difference between précis and summary. You cannot add anything, you cannot manipulate or interpret the various details given in the passage as per your own understanding. You cannot and you should not do it. Got it? The next chapter was about article writing. What exactly are articles? How various articles are written? How to present the ideas in the articles? What are the formats and inclusions in the articles? That is what all we saw while we wrote the articles. The next chapter relates to report writing. In this, we studied what exactly are reports, the various formats depending upon the various types of reports. And what were the various types of reports that we studied? Newspapers reports. Then we studied about the magazine reports and we studied about official reports. We saw the formats of all these types of reports. How to write a newspaper report, we got through a few examples. Then the magazine reports, we saw a few examples along with the format, and official reports, the annual reports or the financial reports. We studied all in this chapter, report writing. Next chapter was quite important and a bit lengthy. That was letters and official communication. Now, in this chapter, actually, this chapter was divided in two parts. One was the letters, and another is the official communication part. In letters, we studied about all the types of formal letters. We studied about the format of a formal letter, and there were numerous letters that we discussed in detail in this chapter. What all types of letters we did? we did the letters of inquiries when we are inquiring or gathering information about anything. Then we also did formal letters of order placement if we wanted to place the order of various items with any particular firm. Then we wrote the complaint letters. If we are having any complaint regarding anything, we wrote those types of letters. And if somebody else had inquired, then the reply letters or the reply to the complaints. We also studied about the sales letters and the promotional letters, and we also wrote the recovery letters. So there were many types of letters that we studied. We studied the format of each one of these. We studied about the content, how to start, what to write in the middle, and how to end. What are the various things we need to take care while writing a good letter? Fine. The second part of the chapter related to official communication, in which we mainly discussed about the office memos, and we also discussed about circulars. In this, we studied about the various memos and the circulars, their formats, the purpose of writing them, and we saw many examples relating and understanding both of these. Right? Our next chapter was about writing formal mails, email writing. In this, we discussed about the significance of emails nowadays, and we studied how to write an informal email, how to write a semi-formal email, and how to write a formal email. We discussed about the formats, the contents of email, to and from and date and subject, CC and BCC and main body, and the complementary clause, the signatory line. All those things were included in the mails. What are the various things we need to remember while writing a good mail? When exactly the mails are significant? And what are the various areas where emails are insignificant? Next chapter dealt with the resume writing for job applications. We studied about the format of a job application, and we studied about resume. What exactly is a resume? How is a good resume written? And we studied about the various formats of a resume and the types. One were the functional resume, another were the chronological, and the third ones were the combined resume. We dwelt at length with the examples of all the three types, and we also studied about the cover letters, how an effective cover letter should be written. The last chapter that we just completed is about meetings. What is a meeting? The types of meeting, the minutes of meeting, setting the agenda of the meeting. What is the format of agenda? What is the inclusion? What are the advantages? Then we talked about the minutes of a meeting. What are minutes of a meeting? Why and how they are written? What is the purpose they solve? How they are important, right? We also talked about the ATRs, that is the action taken report. So this is all about your English that you have done with me. Now, so many things we have done. Most of you must have followed my advice and must have done everything on a consistent daily basis. At the moment when we are completed with the chapters, then you must be realizing that whatever I told you throughout my classes, how important that was and how beneficial it was. Because at the moment you just need to revise. You don't have to learn anything new. But unfortunately, because of any reason, there were certain students who did not follow my advice. Now, whether you have done it before or not, I actually am not much concerned because I always believe there is always a fresh starting, right? It's never too late to start again. And this is what you should be doing now. So I'll be discussing in brief how English should be done. The very first thing you need to do is just plan yourself. When you are doing English, plan yourself, and planning means you need to foresee how you are going to take up the subject as a whole, not a particular chapter. Make sure that you should not do the next and forget the previous one. So revision is very, very important, especially when we talk about the rules of grammar, especially when we talk about the formats, right? So first thing that you are required to do is read, then understand. Once you read and understand something, try to find out the key points through which you will be able to learn. Make sure you are learning and taking care of the formats, or if any rules are applied when it comes to the grammatical part. Make sure to read, learn and understand and remember the various types, and try to differentiate between these types. Once you have done all these things, then after that, always make sure, number one, to revise what you have studied in one particular chapter. Fine. And repeat. Repeat it to yourself. Ask questions from yourself. Try to relate what all you have learned, and if you have been a teacher yourself, what you would have asked. What are the various things you would have been interested in asking from your students? You will get the answer and you will know what is more important and what is less important, right? Always, when you are through with chapter number 1 like this, then you started chapter number 2. You completed chapter number 2, but before starting chapter number 3 now, make sure that first you revise chapter number 1 and 2. This is very important step which normally students don't do, and that is the main reason that all your effort goes wasted. I have seen many students complaining about the fact, sir, I had done it very thoroughly, but now I tend to forget it. Now I don't remember anything. Now when I read it, I think I feel that I never knew anything. This is just because of you missed this particular process. You keep on doing chapter number 1, chapter number 2, chapter number 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10. And once you are through with chapter number 10, because you never revised the previous chapters, it has been such a long gap in between that now, after doing chapter 10th, after such a long gap, when you look back to chapter number 1, it's all vanished. You have to do it again. But yes, when you will be doing it, you will find things familiar. It will be easier for you to do comparatively. The time which you have taken doing it the very first time, it will be less than that, but still, it is not a right way of doing. So what you need to do is, first step, chapter number 1, you completed it. Second step, chapter number 2, you completed it. Third and the most important step is revise chapter number 1 and 2. Once you do it, now do the chapter number 3, then do chapter number 4, and then once you are done with chapter number 4, again revise chapter number 3 and 4. Next, you do chapter number 5, then you do chapter number 6, and again revise chapter number 5 and 6. Now comes the very important part, that before starting up anything new, now revise chapter number 1 to 6 again. Revise chapter number 1 to 6 again, because while you were doing chapter number 3, 4, 5, 6, again chapter number 1 and 2 are on the back seat. And if you will waste more time, or you will take more time going back to those chapters, you will find difficulty. You will find your efforts, the previous efforts, all going futile. So this is something which is very important. Now when you do like this, your chapter number 1 and 6, trust me, you will retain it for much longer time than you expected. Again the same process, do chapter number 7, then do chapter number 8 and revise 7 and 8. Then do chapter number 9, chapter number 10, revise 9 and 10, then revise 7, 8, 9, 10. And once you have done it, revise chapter number 1 to 10 before going to 11, 12, 13. You have got sufficient time, and the best part in English is that you need to read and understand more rather than writing, right? In all the other subjects, it is the written work that is required more, and that is why you keep on writing and filling so many registers. When you talk about your physics or chemistry or economics or bio or mathematics or accountancy, all such subjects require more writing. If you are commerce student, economics, maths, accounts, you need to write and practice. You can't do them verbally. 80%, more than 80% is written practice. If you are a science student, then in that case, you have already seen physics and maths and chemistry, all written work. You cannot do it verbally. 80% is written work in maths and physics. In English, almost 80% is theoretical. This is the best thing. This is an advantage. This is a plus point in English which you are not able to take advantage of. But for that, you need to have patience. Why? Because once you read and read and read and read, either you get tired or you get bored easily. So, to remove that boredom, you need to convince yourself. You need to sit with the commitment that you are doing it for a purpose. Scoring marks in English is very easy, and side by side it is very tough too, depending upon how you have studied, how you have prepared, how well you have practiced and revised, and of course how you represent it there in your examination. So these are the things you should relate, and I repeat, always make sure of these things. Read the things, understand the things, try to learn the key points, formats, and the rules. Learn the types of each and everything. And after doing, revise it and repeat it. You should go through the examples as many times as you can, because this is going to help you so much. All the solved examples that we have done in each and every chapter, go through all those again and again and again and again, because just by reading or going through once or twice, you will not be able to retain it for long. And always look out for key points. Wherever you find anything worth learning, convert it into key points, into flow charts, into mind maps. They are easy to remember. Got it? So this is all about the English part. I really wish you all the best. You prepare well. You try to do all the things that I have told you, and you will see, you will find English much more easier and much more scoring. Got it? So take care, everyone. And I hope that whatever we have done, you will be making proper utilization, and you will be trying hard and score well. My best wishes to all of you. Take care, everyone. It was really nice being with you guys, and I hope you must also be having the same feelings. And study hard, score good marks. My blessings, my best wishes. Take care, everyone. Goodbye, all.